Get ready, Scoopster fans. We've got a rapid-fire rundown of the news that's shaking things up. First, we're diving deep into the economic forecasts for Bangladesh, with projections on foreign reserves, exchange rates, and inflation. What do the numbers and the experts say? Then, we're jetting over to the geopolitical chessboard, where Donald Trump's words are making waves, potentially reuniting or dividing global superpowers like Russia, China, and India. Next up, we uncover the hidden crisis in Bangladesh, the food nutrition gap, and why simply having enough food isn't enough for healthy development. And finally, we explore how gender equality is the missing piece in Bangladesh's fight against malnutrition. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Bangladesh's economic crossroads, what's next? Could the numbers be lying about Bangladesh's economic future? We're breaking down the complex macroeconomic outlook, looking beyond just the figures. For years, economic projections have relied on a vast array of quantitative tools and variables to forecast a nation's financial health. However, these numbers can sometimes obscure the reality on the ground. The core issue often lies in the assumptions made. Variables are frequently held constant, which rarely reflects the dynamic nature of an economy. The expectation theory suggests that while individual prediction errors are normal, persistent deviations are rare, and collective belief can actually drive economic outcomes. With this in mind, we're examining Bangladesh's economic trajectory through both quantitative forecasts and qualitative insights from investment experts. Our quantitative analysis begins with foreign exchange reserves. Sophisticated models predict a dip to $23 billion by June 2026, a significant drop from the current $31.43 billion. Next, the dollar-taka exchange rate is projected to hit $1 equals TK 132.05 by the same date, indicating a fast depreciation, though the Bangladesh Bank's management might intervene. Inflation, a critical indicator, is expected to fall to 7.2% from the current 8.55%, but the upcoming 2026 election could inject inflationary pressures, potentially keeping it between 7.5 and 8.5% if policy stances shift. Remittance inflows are forecasted to rise to $30.98 billion by June 2026, aligning with positive global economic growth projections. Export revenues are predicted to reach $54.86 billion, a 13.63% increase, though this falls short of the government's ambitious target of $63.5 billion. Political or social disturbances, especially around the election, pose a significant risk to achieving these export goals. Adding a layer of expert opinion, the Mid-Year Economic Survey 2025 by BRAC EPL Investments Ltd, surveying 30 investment professionals, reveals a cautiously optimistic outlook. A majority anticipate inflation easing, though opinions are split on the dollar-taka exchange rate. Most expect a policy rate cut by Bangladesh Bank, influencing the government securities market and potentially boosting the equity market, with the DSEX index projected to reach 5,712.04 points by June 2026. However, concerns remain regarding global uncertainties, domestic political stability, and the need for effective inflation and exchange rate management. Don't go anywhere, because the geopolitical landscape is about to get a serious shakeup. Next, we're diving into how Donald Trump's bold statements are impacting the delicate balance of power between global giants. Geopolitical chessboard, Trump's gambit and shifting alliances. Did Donald Trump accidentally forge the very alliance he sought to break? We explore the surprising consequences of his policies on global power dynamics. In 2001, President George W. Bush declared the U.S. and Russia were not strategic adversaries. Fast forward 2 decades, and as the 2024 U.S. presidential elections loomed, Donald Trump stated his intention to unite a Russia and China he felt were brought together by U.S. actions. Ironically, Trump's own previous trade war policies are widely seen as having strengthened the Russia-China relationship and pushed India closer to this axis. The Biden administration's actions in Ukraine further solidified the Russia-China alignment into a full-fledged alliance, which Trump, too, seems poised to cement. While U.S. foreign policy in the early 2000s, including NATO expansion, had already alarmed Moscow and Beijing, leading to a landmark Russia-China Friendship Treaty in 2001, Trump's tariff wars were a turning point for India. Previously maintaining a cautious diplomatic line, balancing ties with Russia for military needs and the U.S. for economic engagement, India found itself increasingly isolated. This balancing act was shattered in 2025 when the U.S. imposed a steep 50% tariff on Indian exports, citing India's continued purchase of discounted Russian oil. Perceiving this as economic coercion, India began recalibrating, leaning back towards the Russia-China axis through the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. The SCO, expanded significantly since its inception, became a critical platform. India's participation, initially signaled with disinterest by sending only its external affairs minister to the 2024 summit, dramatically shifted after the 2025 tariff shock. A high-profile delegation, led by Prime Minister Modi, attended the August 2025 SCO summit in Tianjin, China. While President Xi Jinping welcomed Modi, announcing renewed diplomatic efforts like direct flights and trade restoration, he offered no relief on the 50% tariff burden. The summit occurred amidst global crises: a US-Iran war, an India-Pakistan aerial clash, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, and escalating US-China trade hostility. India found itself entangled, balancing ties with Israel, Russia, and Ukraine, while navigating security concerns with China and Pakistan and friction with the US. Despite calls for multilateralism, divisions within the SCO persisted. Russia secured support for its Ukraine stance, yet India maintained ties with Ukraine while buying Russian oil. The group criticized Israel's actions, but India abstained from the joint statement due to its strong relationship with Israel. Border tensions with China remain unresolved. India's position is further complicated by its membership in the US-led Quad, aimed at countering China. The potential absence of Donald Trump from the 2025 Quad summit could be seen as a slight against India. India's foreign policy is a complex web of seeking deeper ties with the US and EU while maintaining robust relations with Russia and fostering ties with China through the SCO, all while aspiring to lead the global South. Stay tuned, because the next story reveals a hidden crisis affecting millions right under our noses. Get ready to uncover the shocking truth about what's really on your plate. The hidden hunger, Bangladesh's silent nutritional crisis. We have enough food, but are we truly nourished? Discover the alarming reality of the food nutrition gap in Bangladesh and its devastating impact. It's a common misconception: enough food equals adequate nutrition. But this isn't the case. Food is what we consume, nutrition is what our bodies utilize for growth and health. In Bangladesh and globally, this disconnect fuels a silent crisis. The food nutrition gap is severely impacting health, productivity, and overall development. For years, a misguided focus on food sufficiency, particularly rice production, has overshadowed the critical goal of nutrient adequacy. This has led to hidden hunger, a widespread deficiency in essential micronutrients that weakens immunity, impairs cognitive function, and shortens lives, affecting over 2 billion people worldwide. Bangladesh, despite being nearly self-sufficient in rice, exemplifies this paradox. Farm policies prioritizing staples like rice, wheat, and maize over nutrient-rich foods such as pulses, vegetables, fruits, and animal products result in diets that are energy-dense but nutrient-poor. Rice alone accounts for about 70% of daily calories, contributing to widespread stunting, wasting, and hidden hunger. Economic pressures exacerbate this issue, forcing families to choose cheap, filling staples over nutritious options, with women and children bearing the brunt of inadequate diets. This cycle of malnutrition is perpetuated across generations. Cultural factors and behaviors also play a role. Pregnancy-related taboos and unequal food distribution within households deprive vulnerable individuals of essential nutrients. Furthermore, the modern food environment, characterized by urbanization and globalization, has led to an influx of ultra-processed foods. These products, heavily marketed and convenient, contribute to obesity and chronic diseases, even in populations suffering from malnutrition, creating a double burden. Climate change adds another layer of complexity, threatening crop diversity and reducing the nutritional value of even staple crops as CO2 levels rise. Compounding these issues are inadequate health and sanitation systems, which hinder nutrient absorption and perpetuate a vicious cycle of illness and malnutrition. Addressing this multifaceted crisis requires a paradigm shift. Agriculture must diversify beyond staples to include pulses, vegetables, fruits, and animal foods, alongside investing in biofortified crop varieties. Social protection programs, such as school meals and targeted cash transfers, can improve dietary access for the poorest. Stricter regulations are needed to curb aggressive marketing of junk food and to strengthen supply chains for wholesome produce. Nutrition education must be integrated into public health policy to combat harmful taboos, while access to clean water, sanitation, and healthcare is paramount. Well-designed fortification and supplementation programs can bridge remaining micronutrient gaps. But the fight for better nutrition isn't just about food systems. It's deeply intertwined with another crucial battle. Get ready to see how gender equality holds the key to unlocking better health for millions. Gender equality, the missing ingredient in Bangladesh's nutrition strategy. Despite progress in health, Bangladesh faces a persistent malnutrition crisis. Discover why gender equality isn't just a social issue, but a fundamental necessity for improving nutrition outcomes. Bangladesh has achieved significant progress in health and development, yet nutritional indicators remain alarmingly poor. High rates of low birth weight, anemia in women, undernourished adolescent girls, and stunted, underweight, and wasted children paint a grim picture. These statistics are not isolated health outcomes, but stark symptoms of deep-rooted structural inequalities, with gender inequality at the core of who is undernourished and why. As highlighted by Nutrition International's 2025 policy brief, integrating gender equality into all policies, services, and institutions is not optional, but a strategic imperative for improving nutrition. Gender inequality profoundly impacts nutrition across physiological, social, economic, and institutional levels. Women, adolescent girls, and mothers have higher physiological needs, yet face systemic barriers. Discriminatory social norms affect food distribution, decision-making power, mobility, and contribute to early marriage, limiting access to nutritious food, healthcare, and vital information. Economically, women's limited control over household resources hampers their ability to prioritize healthy diets. Institutionally, programs often fail to reach women effectively due to issues like food taboos during pregnancy, interrupted schooling for adolescent girls, excessive household chores, and a lack of autonomy in healthcare decisions. Ultimately, empowering women and girls with decision-making power and equal opportunities directly translates to improved nutrition outcomes for entire families and communities. While Bangladesh has policy frameworks like the National Nutrition Policy, they are insufficiently gender-responsive. Deep-seated social norms, son preference, early marriage, restricted mobility, and dietary taboos continue to hinder progress. Many women lack autonomy in food and healthcare decisions, with authority often resting with male family members or mothers-in-law. Service delivery systems are often gender-insensitive, lacking privacy, adequate female providers, and adolescent-friendly services. Monitoring systems rarely utilize sex-disaggregated data or conduct gender analysis, limiting the identification and correction of inequities. Gender interventions, though referenced in policy, are often underfunded and treated superficially. Despite these challenges, promising opportunities exist. The second National Plan of Action for Nutrition recognizes multisectoral approaches and priority groups. Adolescent nutrition programs and rice fortification initiatives have shown strong impacts when gender considerations are integrated. Community-based research highlights the value of engaging men in household chores, women accessing female providers, and open discussions on food taboos, leading to visible improvements. These successes underscore the effectiveness of gender-responsive approaches. To systematically embed gender equality into nutrition, Bangladesh must focus on interlinked reforms. Policy and governance need explicit gender commitments in implementation plans, indicators, and budgets, with stronger coordination across ministries. Service delivery must be redesigned to be gender-responsive, including recruiting female health workers, ensuring privacy, and expanding outreach. Community empowerment requires engaging men, boys, and mothers-in-law in discussions about gender roles and nutrition. Data collection and accountability mechanisms must incorporate sex and age-disaggregated data and gender analysis. Dedicated financing for gender-responsive nutrition and capacity building for staff are vital, alongside partnerships with civil society. That's all the news for today, but don't go anywhere yet. We've got a lightning round recap and a crucial call to action coming right up. And that's a wrap on today's Scoopster Rundown. We've seen Bangladesh's economic forecasts predict shifts in reserves and exchange rates, while Donald Trump's words are reshaping global alliances. We uncovered the hidden food nutrition gap, revealing that more food doesn't always mean better health, and learned that gender equality is absolutely essential for tackling malnutrition. Don't miss out on future updates. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Scoopster, hit that notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us on all our social platforms for more exclusive content.